Boogie Woogie Wonderland, expanded once again with a new roller coaster, which I will be checking out today. This is a swing launch coaster, but nothing is what it seems in this one because something sinister is hiding in the park. Nothing is what it seems, and as you can see, as this looks really nice and ordinary, there's obviously something wrong with here. As the dramatic music intensifies. Oh, what could it be? There's a cult in my park. What the hell? Get rid of it. You get out of here. Oh my god. In this episode we will be building a station and the start of the Automax LSM Swing Launch Raid Scoopy-de-Boop coaster. I don't know the name of it. But we'll be building it into a clock tower, as you can see. So, without further ado, let's jump in and get building. Oh my god, Book! I'm so scared of this music. Ugh, just man up. Oh my lordicus. What? The whole idea I had before I even started building was having some kind of roller coaster going through and surrounding Bughylon, or the gardens of Bughylon. And you see me placing down an inverted coaster here. What am I thinking? Actually, I started building this before the sorcery pack arrived. So first I wanted to build an inverted coaster here, but later on you see me change it to the LSM swing launched Automax coaster. So this section I'm building on here is the top section that you reach after you walk over that really big bridge over the water. This is going to be a lookout section looking out over the whole park, and I really wanted to have a coaster here. And the idea was that it was gonna wrap around the gardens of Bughylon. So I'm just placed down the inverted coaster, like I said before, we will replace it. And I'm just placing down the queue, and this is what we have so far. Now that the coaster station is placed down and the entrance and the exits are placed, I've started working on the landscaping, which is very important, of course, as we always do on this channel. Placing down rocks. Oh my god! Laying a rock solid foundation for this build. Very important. So, without further ado, here's the snap build. Very snap, much built. Oh my god, Book! How old are you? You're so childish. As a 31-year-old, I feel sometimes something wrong with me, but it's who I am. I have stupid fart humor. I always feel like incorporating a story with my rides, and in this case I'm also incorporating a story with this coaster. The whole idea was to have a cult manifested in the park, and they're all about resurrecting King Bughuul, who has passed away. And King Bughuul is the founder of the Gardens of Bughylon. So we needed a cult to trying to resurrect him, and I think it just would be really funny to create some kind of spooky, scary looking coaster. And that's the whole idea. So I'm building a little temple here in the queue that you walk through as you queue up for the ride. For some reason I wanted the temple to look a little bit flooded, so I placed down some underwater stairs and put down some details, as you can see here. And obviously, later on, a cult sign, or a pentagram. You'll see. If you watch my videos, you know as no other how much I love nature and decoration. So I'm doing that here as well. I'm really trying my best to make it all look as natural as possible and have this temple that's all flooded in the water look a little bit abandoned. So I'm placing down lots of plants and that completes the terrain. So let's continue. And here it is then, finally, the LSM coaster. Are you ready? Oh. business as usual. Let's build some cult props. And one of the things, obviously, that we cannot miss is a pentagram. That's what they use, or at least cults. That's what cults use to summon dead people. So I made a little altar, I made a pentagram, and then I put candles on every corner. Crazy times. I'm sure they'll work it out how to summon the book, but we'll see if they succeed with that. And then I made a couple more props, and here I've got a big skull laying on an altar with a little puddle of blood. And here I've got some kind of book altar with a little crate, and I put a candle on top as well. And here we've got these creepy looking statues. I put a face in the statue actually, as you can see here. And then I also made a drop of blood come from the corner of its eye. And then the scary looking lights, which I made from various pieces. I put a skull in the middle. I think it looks pretty cool. Then it was time to do some terraforming and integrate the coaster station with the terrain. I built a little bit of track just to give me an idea of how I want to start the coaster. Nothing really serious. And then I started terraforming around the coaster station. One of the things I really wanted to do as well with the coaster station was having some kind of platform overlooking out the park, so it's elevated. And here you see me playing around with the platform and the rotating piece. I really want this to be one of those sorcery animatronics to be placed here, and they'll be standing there reading from a book and have some kind of cult gathering or something like that. As you can see, it's really close to the coaster station, and I'll incorporate the whole thing together with the station, and it will look really cool when you board the coaster. Now the cult coaster has got a departing station. It's time to give it some shape and some love, even though cults don't really deserve any love. This cult deserves love because they're trying to resurrect King Bughuul. Very important. I'm trying to keep the building in a similar style as the rest of the Gardens of Bughylon, which means these rune pieces, obviously. There's really no idea of what I had in mind. I just started randomly building and see where it ended up. So I'll show you what I made. I obviously spent some time on detailing because the building currently is not really looking very nice. It's very plain and obviously could use a lot more details and plans. Obviously some damage because the temple is supposed to look old. I polished the terrain a little bit more and incorporated the pathing from the ride and then I placed down these arches, which you can find all the way throughout the Gardens of Bughylon so far. And I decorated the cult gathering area by placing down some benches. I also themed the inside of the station, of course, placed down some of these columns, some candles and some props. And some very fine detailing, some iron work and some corner pieces. Some lights for in the dark. Covered the building with cracks and rips. And placed down some rubble outside so that it looks a little bit more abandoned. And lastly, I decorated the outside of the station with some dead wood and some smaller details to bring the whole thing together. I then actually for the first time started playing around with this new coaster, and I came to the realization how much you can actually do. The switch tracks, the rotation tables, forwards and backward launchers, swings, boomerang style. Honestly, there's so much you can do with this coaster. So I played around with that a little bit and then came to a cool idea of where I have the coaster launch backwards, come back up to a square where I built the pathing at the start of the episode, and then build a tower on top of the square, have the coaster launch backwards to the top of the tower and ring a bell. I thought that would be really cool, and then it will launch back forwards and continues. That's kind of the idea. So yeah, I just played around a little bit. I think I got a really nice setup. Now that the coaster is coming through the pathing, I obviously had to make some room for the clock tower I was going to build. But I was really struggling with this pathing tool. Oh my god, it was a disaster. I decided might as well just use the make a big hole and just have it surrounded by pathing afterwards. So I decided to build on the tower first, at least place down the foundation. After the hole was placed, I got my courage together and finished the pathing section. I really still struggle with the pathing tool, but that's alright. Practice makes perfect, and I didn't practice enough, so I'm not perfect. What? It's so complicated. I know. What? Okay. Started working on the tower, finally. Placed down the corner of each of the towers. So confusing. The pillars of the towers. It's gonna be a tall clock tower. That was the idea. So obviously there's gonna be bells and stuff all the way at the top. So I'm just placing down the pillars here. And then decorated them a little bit with some marble columns in various sizes and various colors. So here it is. What? I promise it will look a lot better later on. I then worked on the top section of the tower and placed down some bells, some fancy arches, and it's looking really nice already. And then built another layer on top of that and finished it off with a roof. Got the bells installed, and the only thing I needed to do was edit in the big clocks. So I'm putting down the frame and then I placed the clocks inside the frame. Then just to get the last couple of bits done, I placed down some rocks. I feel like I should make a shirt that said, I placed down some rocks. Or professional rock placer or something like that. All I do is placing down rocks. Oh my god. Look, I placed down so many rocks. I know. What? I'm trying to decorate this square a little bit, and I thought I'll place down some shops here as well. So I'm placing down a pip shop place, or So Delightful. And then I also decorated that a little bit, but I'll show you in a bit. I also placed down lots of planters to decorate the sides of the little square that I'm building up here. Obviously I'm bringing in this trim that you see here, and that trim is all spread throughout Gardens of Bughylon, so I want it to be cohesive, of course. Then I also built another shop, a pizza pen shop, which overlooks the valley where all the water is, as you can see. It's a really cool spot, and I decorated the inside with pizza pen decoration. Very exciting. I also placed down lots of benches and bins and all that sort of stuff, and placed down small little details as well. And lastly, I made a lookout that will overlook the section of the park that will be built behind the Gardens of Bughylon. That will be a really cool lookout. And with that said, that's pretty much it for me. So let's go and check it out, and check out the coaster as well as the clock tower. Alright, there we have it. After all that building, this is what we ended up with. There goes the coaster. Really nice. It's getting a little bit like, this is more like subtropical area, and there the types of trees change a little bit here, I noticed. But yeah, it's really cool looking. Here comes the coaster. You can see the coaster popping out of the tower, which is pretty cool. There we go. And then if we silent, you can hear the clocks. That's something I really wanted to do. I want the coaster to come up and then go all the way to the top, and then you can hear the bells go off, which is pretty cool. Let's just approach this area from this side, and then I'll show you around. Yeah, I installed some music all throughout the park. It's really coming together now. It's very nice. So when you approach this area, when you head to the right, you've got two shops, Pizza Pen and So Delightful. Very nice. So you've got the So Delightful shop, and then the Pizza Pen is through here. And then you've got a little pizza shop here, which is nice. What are you selling today? I don't know, but I'm a bit scared. Alright, you shut up. Work. Well, you're not getting paid. What? Okay. Oh my god. Alright, the coaster is called Resuscitare. Resuscitare, which means resurrect in Latin or Greek. Resurrect. It's about, you'll see in the next episode when I start building, you've got a massive pentagram to summon someone. But the whole idea of this roller coaster is going to be all around resurrecting King Bughuul, who has passed away, the ruler of this kingdom. Holy crap, that was scary. What are you up to? Holy crap. Anyway, this is the entrance. And you go here, and then here we've got like Boogie's cult. It's all damaged and stuff. And then we've got some like cultish things happening around here. And you go through here, Resuscitare, and then you've got like a pentagram again with candles. And these pentagrams are symbols used to summon bad spirits or something like that. Resuscitare. So the idea is, we're just walking this queue in the meantime. Here we've got a little head with some blood, some like a little sacrificing thingy. The idea is that this cult is trying to resurrect King Bughuul. It's the inside of the coaster station. And it doesn't go quite well or quite right. What's gonna happen? You can see a bit of an overview. So this is the coaster station, and here there's like a cult member doing some stuff. Maybe I'll make some people sitting down here. So the idea is for this coaster to come down here and enter a temple, which I'll be building in the next episode. And then here there will be like you'll be inside the temple. You just imagine this being inside the temple, and then you rotate a little bit to the left, as you can see here. And then like there's a ritual happening at the meantime, and then something goes wrong and you get sent backwards. And then you go up, and then when you come back into the temple, so here you like exit the temple, and then you end up being launched back into the temple, and that's when something has happened. Someone has been resurrected, I think, but I want it to be some kind of evil spirit, which I think will be really cool. And then the whole idea is, so the coaster is just coming out of there. You just saw it flip around, but it gets sent backwards up the tower, and then it comes back again, and then it gets sent in this direction. So the idea is for, if you can see my mouse, to be, after it's sending to the tower, it's coming back, being sent straight ahead. And the whole idea is to have this coaster wrap around all of Bughylonia. So pretty much this whole area. Have it wrap around here. And somehow, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. I wanted to have it incorporated with this section here, which is still empty, like the middle of the towers. So I might want to send the coaster through here, and then up here or something, like upside down or something like that, and through here and then into this rock wall or something. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do it, but I'm sure I can come up with something. So yeah, that's kind of the whole thing. I have another look at this tower, which is pretty nice. Got some big clocks happening, hanging there, and a big clock and some bells. Here we go, got the coaster again to have another look. Here it comes up, comes out of the underground, and then the bells go off. And that means it's resurrection time, and the cult is resurrecting King Bughuul, and this is the queue again. So it's a really nicely incorporated area, I think. Super happy with it. But that's it for me. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and if you didn't, well, I don't know, then you didn't. If you did, please leave a like, consider subscribing, would really help me out a lot. In the next episode we'll be building the temple, and obviously doing lots of building on the coaster, and I can't wait to show you guys what I've got in mind. So with that said, I'll see you all in the next video. Alright, bye bye!